Fight fans, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I finally want to go live about this whole Errol Spence uh, video that was leaked out by his significant other, and some things I noticed about Errol Spence, that were pretty strange. I mean, stranger than most, because when you have Errol, we've seen Errol hit the bottle. We know how Errol talks. Errol pretty much has a country southern Texas accent anyway, and when I seen Errol in the condition he was in, that's what I want to discuss with you guys and get your feedback on it. That's why I'm going live on it. I know I did a video a couple of days ago about Errol Spence, but something just didn't sit right with me about Errol that night, that whenever he took it, and I doubt that wasn't 2 or 3 years ago. That shit was done recently. So whatever he was on, that's what we want to talk about. Benny Red, how's it going, Kurt? Great to catch you live. Yeah, man. I don't know. YouTube's been tripping. So if you guys caught me live, it probably ain't because of a notification. It's just been because, shit, you just happen to be on YouTube, like most people say. WMMA, seen now. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, WMMA. What's good? I got something like, spider web. Some people think Errol was on the lean. The lean, the syrup, the scissor. That's what I want to talk to you guys about. Hell, that's how people are. I mean, I don't know if you guys ever seen anybody on lean, but that's the type of state it has you in. It has you to that point, and you have to think about what's really in lean. The same shit they put in cough syrup, right? In fact, that's exactly what it is. Triple C back in the day. Yeah, Triple C back in the day. Listen. The way he was, if that man, Errol Spence, and I want people to listen to me, if Errol Spence was drunk, he either drunk in excess to the point that he was that inebriated he couldn't understand his girl speaking to him. As much as you're around someone and you can't make out what they say, it's another thing when you can't make out what he says, but he couldn't make out what she was saying. That's a totally different issue. If a person hears you and they're but they hear you, and then they can understand you, but you also can't understand him. He couldn't do either. He couldn't say a complete sentence, and he didn't even know what she was saying. And here's something that we haven't thought about. Maybe Errol Spence can't hold his liquor. Because if he did get that drunk off alcohol, that means that whatever he was drinking, he shouldn't have been drinking. But understand, he was on something. But I just couldn't stand the cop-out of what she was saying about, I hit him with the car because he be cheating. I'm like, okay, that don't make any sense at all. Because I mean, even when you're concussed, you don't talk like that. Hell, I've been concussed and I didn't sound like a zombie. And if I had that type of concussion, maybe I need to seek medical help, but no, lean. Okay, let's go with the lean narrative. If he was on lean, that means he could get away with taking cough syrup, because that's what most people do. You know, and that may put him in that state of mind. He probably was on that. You know, because I doubt Errol Spence is dumb enough to be taking something like illegal. Because everybody knows lean is not illegal. It's over the counter. It's just you can't take it in access. You can't do it, but it is legal. You know, you could say, man, I had a cold, so, you know, that's not on the banned substance list at all. And it shouldn't be. But then again, should it? So that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. You guys hit that like button because I'm pretty sure a lot of you haven't got a notification to this live. But yeah, lean, that sounds like what more than likely he was on. But there's a bigger picture. And I just looked at a video, shout out to Bruce fucking Vane. And he was like, well, if he knew his girl was gonna post that and they're still together, right? Why would he allow that to let out? In other words, why now? I mean, if it happened a couple of days ago, hey, yeah, I'm posting a picture of my boyfriend or whatever, drunk, and I want the whole world to know that, right? Why would he be okay with it? Because obviously he is, you know, unless he just got her to take it down. But even so, too many people have seen it. Too many people have seen Errol Spence in that condition. But what just happened? Or should I say what didn't happen? And what didn't happen with Errol Spence was he turned down $25 million to fight Terrence Crawford. Yeah, he turned down $25 million because his boss said, no, you're not going to take that fight because I said so, said Al Heyman. And then all of a sudden, a few days later, you see him drunk in a bed in a fucking leaked video of him intoxicated off his ass. So, I don't know. You guys tell me. I don't really know what was up with him. But he could have been on some lean. You know, them Texas boys, they like that shit from time to time. You know, that shit's real bad for your kidneys and liver, man. That shit will destroy your kidneys. They'll have you on dialysis fast so you can say dialysis. But yeah, man, I just don't know really what's up with Errol, you know. But then again, let's look at it another way. If he let it out, maybe he wants people to think he's done and out and over the hill. Maybe it's a whole smoke screen. Maybe it's, you know, just him pretending to be fucked up like that. You know what I mean? It could all be a ploy, you know, but then that ploy could also be a reaction to just say it was a ploy for damage control. So you don't really know. So forget what it does to your organs. It's liquid heroin, highly addictive. Nah, man, you're wrong. It was a skit. QT, it could have been a skit. It could have been a skit. You know, it could have been just, hey, it could have been a skit. It could be a tactic. You know, you could be right, because Errol Spence, I don't think would have let his wife or girl or whatever the fuck she's supposed to be to him put that out there, and it's okay with him if that was real. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Or maybe it was the New York's sour diesel from 2011, best strain to this day. Nah, I don't think it takes too long for marijuana to get out of your system like that. You know, he ain't Mike Tyson sitting around this piece. You know, he's a current professional champion, a unified. No, I don't think that's the case. But maybe he's just trying to blow smoke up everybody's ass because he wants people to think he has a disadvantage. So when he does fight Terrence Crawford, which I think at this point, he has the true disadvantage simply because he's older. And the longer they drag that fucking fight out, the more chances of Errol Spence whooping that ass the way he wants to whoop that ass and look a lot better doing it, if he could do it at all. You see what I'm saying? See, I look right through shit a lot of times because Errol Spence didn't want that fight 3 years ago or 4 years ago or 2 years ago. He didn't want it then. I don't honestly think it matters the way PBC is holding boxing hostage. Yo, Kurt, what's up? Counterpunch Boxing News and Chat. Deshaun in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch, you just getting this track in, man. I just ran stadiums today. Little cardio. So getting back in action. Trying to get back at it, you know. Trying to stay alive longer. Trying to give myself 5 more years of life on top of the years of life that I'm guaranteed or promised to have. You know? You think PBC is holding boxing hostage? Yeah, it does it. I mean, Al Heyman don't care about other fighters. He just cares about the fighters that he has. So he can play God with them fighters all he wants. That's his prerogative. You know? But yeah, it sucks for boxing because you got a lot of fights out there that could bring people back to the sport of boxing. But imagine the amount of people that have left the sport and just got tired of watching sports, watching boxing. And this is no lie, man. About not this weekend, but last weekend, I was in Sosua, and a guy was like, "Hey, man, counterpunch to you." You know, and I was like, "Oh, man, that's what's up." You know, he's like, "Yeah, man, I watch your channel. I'm a truck driver." And he said, "Man, thank you for bringing the news back, because if it wasn't for you and other guys like yourself, boxing would be dead." And I really didn't think of it like that. You know, we keep the news to keep informing you guys of what's coming on, what's happening, what could happen, what we want to happen, you know, what I think that happens, you know, a lot of things that happens. And it's crazy, man, because it just shows you that people appreciate you that you don't even see until they tell you, you know. Whatever happened to Roberto Duran and Manny Pacquiao of boxing? Fight everyone and everyone in their prime. Nicholas, that shit's gone. You know, as long as Floyd Mayweather, and this is my prediction, I think Floyd has to get knocked out cold. I mean, somebody has to knock Floyd out so people can, so either he can stop fighting and stop hoarding all the money and hoarding all the attention in order for these fighters, or for him to get his mind right and start actually promoting his fighters instead of himself. See that shit this weekend coming on pay-per-view on DAZN? He's doing that because DAZN has the money to give him a guarantee, but then everybody wants to give me the third degree on why Terrence shouldn't get a guarantee, but Floyd fucking Mayweather does. See, ask me if that makes any sense. Floyd Mayweather knows how to go to DAZN to get a guaranteed amount of money on top of a pay-per-view upside. But then yet everyone gives Terrence Crawford shit for wanting a guarantee, you know, and say, "No, why don't you just take the split? That's good enough." Yeah. Which we haven't even seen that fight yet. On top of that, we don't know who's going to buy that fight or not. Of course I would buy it. And I'm hoping a lot of you guys would buy it. I hope all of you guys buy it. But then again, it's going to be some of you that have a fire stick that catches a good stream and say, "You know what? This shit's good enough. I'm going to save my 79, 75, 99 and just watch it this way." You know what I mean? People are just going to get pragmatic and like, "Well, damn, wait, I've already got a jailbroken fire stick, so why don't I just watch the shit there?" So who does that take money from? That takes money from the split, from the fighters. Spence does not want the Crawford fight. Only time Al Heyman will ever consider if Crawford gets wrecked by somebody. Well, if Crawford just looks beatable. See, here's the worst thing that could happen. Crawford gets beat, because all that goes away, because then if he gets beat, he will no longer have the WBO, right? So if he no longer has the WBO, they'll just try to make the fight with the person that beat Terrence Crawford. So if it is, let's say David Avanesian upsets Terrence Crawford, they will immediately make a fight with David Avanesian. just to show up Terrence Crawford. That's it. But then you ask yourself, like, well, what happened to all these other fights? You know, whatever happened to, we never seen Errol Spence take on, what's his name? Jeff Horn. We never seen him take on Jose Benavidez. You know, we never seen him take on Mean Machine. We seen Virgil Ortiz take on Mean Machine. But all these guys have not fought each other. So it's still a lot of untapped question marks in the welterweight division throughout boxing overall. LOL. 50 Cent said in an interview that Floyd's going to lose when the money runs out and he's going to take a fight when he's too old. Well, somebody should knock him out then. If Jake Paul knocks out Floyd Mayweather, let it be. Because I see what Floyd's doing. Floyd, I understood his money desire back when he was fighting, you know, because he was like, look, I'll take fortune over fame. Cool. You know, so I don't have to fight the most or the best. I just want to make the most money. In a way, I could understand because Floyd was fucked over early in his career when he was with Bob Arum. Because believe it or not, people, Bob Arum fucked over a lot of fighters and he didn't really give a lot of fighters a fair shake. Like Manny Pacquiao, like Floyd Mayweather, like Terrence Crawford. See, he couldn't get a fight with Errol Spence himself. He couldn't get that fight. He couldn't secure that fight with Errol Spence. He couldn't do it all those times. But what did he do? He talked about how much money he lost. Well, fuck you, Bob Arum. Nobody asked you for your opinion. Nobody asked you to demote your fighter. Nobody asked you to say what you said against your fighter. You know, so, no, I get Floyd in that magnitude because Bob Arum wouldn't secure a $20 million guarantee for him. Understand, $20 million guarantee. Sound familiar? But all fucking Terrence Crawford wants is $25 million that he's already picked up from investors that Al Heyman already fucking knows about. And then everyone wants to give him stick about coming together with a fight or a solution to make a fight. And they say no. But meanwhile, they give Floyd a pass. Oh, man, Floyd's getting, how much fucking money's Floyd getting? Guaranteed. On top of a pay-per-view upside. Exactly. The boxing business has pushed boxing fans off and let Jake Paul and these exhibitions in. Yeah, that's true. QT. That's all that happened. And Floyd knows because he's going where the money goes. He's going where the money flows. Bars. That's Floyd. Floyd see, these exhibitions, they're gonna make money. I know back in 2017 when I fought Conor McGregor, that's why Conor McGregor in the exhibition did more money than anything else. So I'm gonna do exhibitions. I'm not doing no hard ass fights no more. That's what he did. That's exactly what he did. Kurt, who will you put your money on Spence or Crawford? Nobody. I'm not betting on that shit. I know Terrence Crawford is gonna come to win. But see, understand, Terrence Crawford can't and will not be compromised. You see how he's playing hardball with these negotiations? I don't give a fuck what they made or what the earning potential is. It doesn't matter at this point. Why? Because we have an opportunity to see an undisputed fight. This ain't Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua in 2018. It ain't like people don't know who Terrence Crawford is. People are just saying, oh man, he doesn't sell tickets. Okay, he took the lighter share of the money. Now what? Promo 130. Counterpunch to you. Gray Loch. Hello from England. I know I said that wrong. Spence wants no parts of Bud. Never has. Well, he'll want him when he looks shitty. And then see if Terrence Crawford, continuing that, if Terrence Crawford comes in and he looks bad against David Avanesian, they will make a way. You don't surprise if that money will be 50-50. That split will be 50-50. Nah, I'm going to give Terrence Crawford 50-50 because, you know, I want to be fair with him. I want to see this fight. No, you had the okay because you and your boss seen Terrence Crawford struggle against David Avanesian. So you want to come in and finish off old Crawford, right? You want to come in and finish off Crawford and get all the credit. That's all it is. So if he had a tough fight with David Avanesian, it's the objective of Errol Spence to come in and then make that fight. So then he takes Terrence Crawford out, because Terrence Crawford has fought all these outside guys outside of the PBC except for Sean Porter, right? And we all know what happened with Sean Porter. The Penguin, who cares if he drinks 1 million beers a week? It's results that count. And if you're not at 1 in 100 of him, shut the fuck up. Okay, well, get the fuck out. How about that? You know what I mean? You know, like, if he drinks like that, he ain't gonna be worth a shit anyway. I can't stand people coming in here all defensive and shit. Bunch of bitches. Yo, stop being a bitch, bro. Just go. You know what I mean? The motherfucker had another drunken ass video when he was drunk again. So the whole conversation is about him being drunk. How good is he? And how good will he be if he keeps on having these drunk episodes? I'm Team Spence in this. But I understand Terrence taking 10 million too. It's complimented. It's complicated. Well, I mean, Terrence Crawford ain't used to not making business sense. Now, he's not used to taking risk like Al Heyman wants him to take. He's not doing that. Hey, Kurt, what do you think about the possible WBC eliminator of Shakur Stevenson versus Isaac Cruz? Shakur will get him easy. Cruz was just a guy that gave Tank Davis a tough fight. And Tank hurt his hand in that fight. Nothing more, nothing less. He's a tough competitor. And he beat up Gamboa. So fucking what? Who won't beat Gamboa in this part of his career? Gamboa's done. He's done. He's been done. So, yeah, him doing that don't mean shit. They're just paying Gamboa to get beat up. They've been paying him $700,000-$800,000 to get beat up $1 million. Guarantee, people. Guarantee. Yeah. Crawford, all the way. Decker says, Major Key Boxing. What up? Key, King, Key. Benavidez interview at 8:45 p.m. brother. Stop by. Absolutely. 8:45 p.m. Is that Central or Eastern or what? No, you're Eastern, right? So that'd be 9:45 my time. I don't see Bud losing anytime soon. He's smart and hungry, man, and probably some hometown bias in there. But he won't fall into the Lomachenko trap and get comfortable and try coasting. Nah, I don't think so either. Eastern. Okay, so that's 9:45. Wait, no, that's 7:45 for me. Okay, gotcha. Tommy Tom, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. What's your favorite color? Man, I like silver. That's my favorite color, actually. Black is the second best. The only athlete that had permission to drink was Dennis Rodman, and he was special. Yeah, Dennis Rodman sure was special. He was bi-special. Loma coasting. This Loma's just, man, Loma's getting old. He's just getting old, man. That's the only thing I can sum. Loma's getting old. He stayed in the Olympics too long. You know, the Ukrainians have a different mindset when it comes to the Olympics versus the pros. And he started the pros too late. See, Loma should have started 4 years before. Loma should have been fighting guys like Gamboa when he started. Bud will beat Spence, no cap. Here's the thing. It's more on the line if Spence loses versus Terrence losing. Why? Terrence has already been through 3 weight classes and been champions in 3 different weight classes. Errol Spence has 3 belts, and he's got them collectively. I get it, in 1 weight class. But if he loses to Terrence Crawford versus him beating Terrence Crawford or losing to Spence, I think Spence will have a harder blow. Why? because Terrence Crawford's older, his career is more accomplished with the the migration of his career. Yeah, I think it would be hard for him to be beaten by the older guy. He's older. And then people would question, how good is Errol Spence anyway? Where does he go from there? Then what Terrence Crawford does, he gives those belts back to fucking Al Heyman and company, and they all fight for him like a bunch of fucking roaches getting crackers and cheese. And then he goes to 154 and fight and wants to take on Jermell. So you think Al Heyman's gonna let Terrence Crawford fight Jermell unless he was sure? And he might try to attempt for a fight like that. He might think about it, but then again, he might not. Bud beats Spence and Haney beats Loma. A warm salute to Kurt and everyone in the chat. Daniel, counterpunch to you. Bud might beat Spence. They just got to fight it out. I know Spence is the subject here, but anyone see the Eubank senior interview thing today? Really bizarre. No, I haven't. You know, I'll take a look at it. But I've done enough content, man. I don't know. It's like, I don't know, people been asleep today or some shit. Or maybe my notifications are not going out. You know? It's Crawford's fight to lose. Well, Crawford could lose it. You know? But see, here's the thing with me. I have no idea, or I have no problem with Spence beating Terrence Crawford. I have no problem with that. I just want him to beat, I want him, if he's gonna beat him, beat him. Not beat an older version of him, not beat a prolonged, waited out, waiting game tactic of knowing, well, man, I'm not gonna fight you in 2020, but I'm gonna fight you in 2023 when I know you're old enough, you're not as fast, you're not as sharp, you're not the fighter you used to be. Now I'm going to fight you. I always had a problem with that. See, that's the promotion thing. And see, when you follow a promoter's idea of your career, he's always going to have you waiting out the harder fights. That's what he's always going to do. You know, they're going to do that shit. Look, people know when to make fights. Promoters like, no, I want to promote this guy. I don't want to see this guy get beat up by that fucking tough bastard. We want to let that tough bastard, the one that nobody really wants to fight right now, let's let him get old. Let's let him go through some tough fights when he fights another tough fight. We're not going to put him in there with a guy that sells or a guy that we're trying to market to be the next star. We don't want a star get knocked out, because then that star, that potential star, won't be a star now, will he? Hey, Kurt, good. Looks like you're limping. Nah, that's just the way I walk. Shit. Bud too small for Charlo. Yeah, man, Charlo's a big motherfucker, though. I was like, damn, could he really beat Charlo? Because Brian Castano, sorry, he gave Jermell a good fight. But, like, he hurt Jermell, though. So I seen Jermell hurt, too. So the question you ask yourself, can Terrence Crawford hurt Jermell? That's all you need to ask yourself. Because if he can hurt him, he can knock him out, because you know how Terrence flows. Terrence is a guy that hits you at certain times that you don't expect to get hit from angles you're not accustomed to getting hit with, especially when you're attacking, because he's a counter puncher. So he's waiting for you to do something, and he uses the art of Aikido on your ass and hits you with something after you've attacked him with something that you don't see. St. Dunn, he's always been an eccentric and narcissist for sure, but he really looks unwell in the latest interviews, like he's having a serious breakdown. Feel sorry for him. Well, I don't know. Speaking on Chris Eubank Sr., God bless him, because he lost a kid, man. Chris Eubank Sr. lost his child. I think that was his baby boy, right? Or middle son? Fuck, whichever, right? I mean, he lost a kid. That takes years to get over. I have a brother that's married to a young lady, and she lost a daughter. And that was like 3 or 4 years ago, and she's fucked up over that. You know, I mean, those things, bro, that's life, man. When things like that happen in life that's unexpected, that's why I don't criticize Chris Eubank Sr. at all, because whatever he does is a process. If Chris Eubank Sr. cusses somebody out in traffic or at a grocery store or at the track or at the gym or, you know, at some type of meeting or whatever, that's probably just him lashing out at the fact that he can't, you know, the things that he can't do anything about, man. You know, like, things happen, man. You know, you go through things. I never lost a child, but I know what it's like to lose a parent. And I was all over the place. And that's been damn near 10 years ago. And I still feel some type of way at certain times of the year. So maybe it was this time of the year that you see him acting that way, because it's a constant reminder, like psychologically, like, yo, this is the time when you lost your child, or you lost your parent. This was that day, or this was that week, you know, or this was this time of the year. Like, man, your mind goes through a lot of strenuous things. So, I mean, Chris Eubank Sr., if he looks sad that day, man, you know, just pray for him and just, you know, try to give him encouraging words and stuff like that, and understand, like, yo, put yourself in his shoes if you can, you know. Kurt, totally agree about grief of him losing one son, and then Eubank Jr., and then Ben fight where he could have had seriously. And see, Jan, absolutely, because you have to look at Chris Eubank Sr. You look at how he's thinking. The idea of him possibly losing another son is devastating, because he's already been through that same pain. So yeah, that's like, dude, and you mean to tell me that shit could have happened due to some bullshit promoters, possibly more than likely a dirty ass fighter that has something to prove for his name's sake? Man, dude, that's real. That's some real shit right there, man. So what he's going through is absolutely normal to me. And he has no judgment from Counterpunch Boxing News. None. You know, ain't seen people like that when just drunk, maybe addicted to painkillers from the car crash the other year. Ryan, I don't know. Because see, if he was addicted to painkillers, that shit happened in 2019. Bro, that was over 3 years ago. I know, I was in DC when it happened. So, I don't see him addicted to painkillers, because that would have showed up in the system if he had to keep taking them because of pain. You know what I mean? It might sound crazy, but losing my dog hit me hard, harder than losing my dad, and me and him was tight as fuck. I don't know, dog. That's something else. You know, I lost my little puppy last year, got ran over, and I did video on him and everything. That fucking sucked. But I don't think that has anything on a human being. But then again, you know, it just shows you how, you know, how closer you are to certain things, or with certain things versus people or whatever. But his latest interview was like on a different level, really uncomfortable watching. I felt like the interviewer was seriously, exploiting him, huh? Well, maybe he was. Maybe sometimes people need to know when to shut the fuck up and stop asking questions and let the person talk. You're interviewing a person, so you want to know what they have to say, not challenge the person that you're interviewing. You're interviewing him. You're not going back and forth with them, you know, like they're on the stand or a jury. People have to understand that. Bud is a pussy. He don't want any of smoke with Errol Spence or Boots. That is why he is fighting bum ass anesthesia. Yeah, I hear you, man. Salute Kurt. Counterpunch to you, King Grayson. Well, I don't see anybody ducking that took the smallest amount. You know what I mean? I don't see anybody that's ducking did what Terrence Crawford did. I'm sorry. You can say what he didn't want. He just didn't want that shit under the premise. Because see, this is what happened with Terrence Crawford. He initially said, yeah, I'll take that shit. But then, hey, what about the rematch, and what about this, that, and the other? The biggest part of that negotiation is supposed to have been done. So why wasn't it done? That's the question you ask yourself. Yeah, he'll stop. He will knock out Errol Spence. I think he will stop him like he stops everybody else because he's not going to let up. Terrence Crawford's not built that way. And see, when Terrence Crawford got another opportunity, another option, him like a man called Errol Spence. And what did Errol Spence do, Mr. Man Down Promotions? Let me talk to Al Heyman. Let me see what Al Heyman say. But then he didn't hear anything back from fucking Errol Spence, though. So you got to tell it all if it's going to be told. Then he calls Al Heyman, and Al Heyman's like, oh, no, that's not, I'm not letting anybody touch this. So that means, bitch, you're not even trying to even see the money that was up front. So, like, dude, they didn't want that fight. And if they wanted it on their own terms. So I don't, it really doesn't matter at this point. Now we see Errol Spence seemingly drunk or intoxicated, maybe on some lean painkillers, too much alcohol or whatever. But then you will allow that to float through the social media. And you're doing that for more than one reason. Maybe he just doesn't give a shit. Maybe. Or maybe it's a smokescreen. Maybe he's just trying to get people off his ass about taking $25 million that he could have taken. Eubank Sr. is showing multiple signs of CTE. He's taken a lot of damage in his career. I don't think it's just losing his son because it started a while ago now before his son dying. I don't know. I always just kind of seen him as an upstanding, kind of pompous cat. Real proper. You speak proper English by practice. Just tell Bud he's losing in round 7 and he'll come out and finish Spence. That is true. You tell Terrence Crawford he's losing. Terrence Crawford is going to make a way in that fight, in that round, like he did with Sean Porter, and knock out Errol Spence. And listen, again, we're talking about Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford ain't the type of dude that you can take lightly. And I think Errol Spence knows that. I think he knows. Do you see Errol Spence unhappy or pissed off about him fighting someone else? What did he say? He said that, man, he fighting somebody else and I'm fighting somebody else. Was he upset about it? He just said, we all know who didn't want this fight. Dude, you act like you're fucking happy that the fight didn't happen. Terrence Crawford don't have enough power to stop Errol. Errol will walk him down and stop Bud in one of the later rounds. Cobb Killer. That could happen. But say he don't have power. Man, please. Listen, you lost me with that one. Why? First of all, if that's just like saying your Dennis Ugas don't have power either, huh? Do your Dennis Ugas have power when he fucking knocked the mouthpiece of Errol Spence and sent his ass welling into the ropes? And then he stopped like he did something wrong? Did he have power? Is your Dennis Ugas known for power? No, he's not. His record don't reflect him having power at all. He's a good boxer. He has good exchanges, great ring IQ. He doesn't really fight like a Cuban, like a typical Cuban fighter. It costs nothing to hit the like button and helps the channel. Great, it's all right. People don't want to help the channel. They want to challenge the channel. That's how a lot of people are. That's why you have 70 people in here and 21 likes, because probably 70% of these fucking guys don't want to hit the like button, which is cool. They just want to hear what you got to say. Or maybe they're waiting to hear something that they agree with. I don't know. Spence is a laid-back guy. He never sounds excited or disappointed about stuff. Daniel, that makes a point. But I remember how Errol was against Keith Thurman. And he showed more aggressiveness. I wanted to fight. He just say, yeah, he injured again. When we go fight? He would troll Keith Thurman. You guys remember that? I know that was about 4 or 5 years ago now. Damn, time flying by, bro. And we never got that fight either. So, get with Al Heyman, you'll get the fights that you want. That's why Terrence Crawford hasn't fought Errol Spence. That's bullshit. Now to come to find out, Al Heyman doesn't really give a shit about other fighters that are not with him. Do you think Roy Jones will be a good fit to train Joshua? I think Lennox Lewis will be better because he has more in common. He's a big guy that uses his size to jab and right hand and left hook. You know, he could teach Anthony Joshua a shitload more just by familiarity. He's familiar with the things that he knows how to do. Yeah, but he's been acting weird for a while now. He seems less and less like a character and more serious. I've been watching him for a long time, and there's a huge change in the way he's acting. Well, put it this way. Maybe he was kind of acting, and now he's not. You know? Rene Padilla, man. Hey, salute. Jesus Christ bless you, brother. Finally caught you live. It's been a while. Rene Padilla, man. I'm glad the job's doing good. Counterpunch to you, brother. Darnell Thomas. Al Heyman gave a fuck about Canelo. He did because he knew he wanted to sign Canelo because Canelo has all the fucking money. Everybody knows that. Terrence Crawford don't, though. Terrence Crawford is a threat for all the wrong reasons. He's a guy good enough to fucking kick every ass in his stable and then can walk off in the sunset and they still don't get paid for doing it. So you think Al Heyman is a fool? He's not. He just knows he's not going to take a risk with his fighter, you know, fighting for that, and especially on somebody else's terms with somebody else's money. He's not doing that. Al Heyman is probably one of the smartest guys, but see, being smart don't really make the best decisions. You know, he's not dumb. He's not going to put Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford together like that. He's not going to do that. That's why he drug it on. Yeah, Decker, we know that Lennox Lewis ain't gonna train Joshua. That shit would be big though. I got with AJ, and he wants to train with me, and I taught him the floating rib shot, and he was totally impressed. We just squashed all the stuff about the clown and, you know, the split with Deontay, and I'm gonna train him next week, and we're gonna see what we can do with Anthony Joshua. I'm glad to bring him aboard because I feel that I have a lot to show him. And I know he will be just as better and bigger and more successful than others. Spence was drunk and other. Yeah, he probably was. Maybe he was on a combination of things. Damn it, get away. Kurt, if Canelo was at his peak still and was going to switch trainers, what would be your suggestion? Juan Manuel Marquez. Sanchez seems really bitter about the Triple G thing. He is, because they left on a bitter note. And anytime a trainer and a fighter leaves on a bitter note, you're going to have bitterness. Point blank and period. You better leave Lennox alone. Albuga. I know, right? Lennox walks up here right now. Hey, cut. Oh. Let's see you counterpunch that, bitch. You've been talking shit about me the whole time. Now I'm going to show you what a pro does. I'm going to keep this shit live, too. All y'all going to see is Lennox Lewis do this. He giving me a whooping. Spence a trailer trash. Damn, really? Come on, Igor. They going to call that man trailer trash. Now, I ain't going to do that. You know. I just think Spence is ducking. I don't dislike the brother. Damn, trailer trash. Jesus. You know Lennox be lurking. Man, Lennox will fucking walk up. Oh, fuck, Lennox. Yeah, tell your people. I'll beat you I'll hit you with the floating rib shot. I've seen alcohol mixed with pain medication and have a similar effect before it really messes you up. Yeah, I had an aunt on that shit real bad. She used to mix medication and she used to slur like that, you know? So, yeah, it probably was a combination of things. He probably had a lot of shit in his system. Combination of alcohol. Then, he took some cough syrup and all that shit, you know? Al Heyman is smart, but he's interested in making money, not giving the best fights to his fighters or fans. Daniel, he ain't doing that. He's not doing that. That's not what it's going to be. That's not how it's going to be. You know, that's why you think he really gives a shit that Crawford fight ain't happening. He's relieved because he knows, okay, we can go back to business as usual. We can make the fights that I know that I can put together for you instead of dealing with Terrence Crawford, a guy that may beat you up. Kurt, I told Kenny Porter the other day that I would like to see you in Sean Porter's podcast, and he said he was going to introduce you one day. Well, that's cool. I'd like to be on Sean's podcast. That'd be pretty dope. Spence sipping lean. Big Wah, he might be sipping lean. He might be. Opioids and alcohol is terrible. Yeah. That shit's bad. Too much boxing politics, James H. Well, look, I think the politics is bullshit. Because we've seen time and time again, we've seen Trinidad and De La Hoya, we've seen Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis, we've seen Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, we've seen Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, we've seen a lot of fights that were made and politics didn't get in the way. And to say that shit has to make sense, that is one statement that I'm sick of hearing in boxing. It gotta make sense. I'm so sick of that shit to the point where it lets you know that, hey man, the fight gotta make sense. That means I gotta get a certain amount of money that people may not have. That's what they're saying. And if they don't have it, it wouldn't make sense for me to pursue that fight because the money is not there for the fight to happen. That's what I'm hearing. My wife awakens in a slumber, disorientated when she wakes up. It's a strange thing, not quite like that, but not far off. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the hell was wrong with Errol Spence. I just know that the motherfucker almost lost his life for being drunk. The proof's in the pudding. He faced a DWI for the shit he did. You know, I mean, like, if he was just, like sleep or tired and flip this shit, that would be, that would be different. Why his girl would embarrass him in that way? I doubt he was under anything. It was just a joke. Went south. Why would she do that to him? Maybe it's shit. A lot of people start smelling themselves when they get in the spotlight. Look at Robin Givens. Look at Miss Jackson. Remember Floyd Mayweather's ex-girl? This motherfucker went with Nelly. Nelly took his girl. But what started happening? You start hearing her more. She knew she was on camera. She was at them damn fights because she wanted to be an actress. So she wanted to be seen. She wanted the attention. Like that's what most gold digging fucking women do. They want the attention. They want to bring the attention to them. Like, fuck that. Slide over to me. Let me talk. Instead of being submissive, instead of just staying in your fucking place and being who you are to that person. No, you want to be that person in the spotlight. So, yeah. So that's where it comes from. If you could read into anything else, like, okay, this chick obviously, because it was her video, right? It wasn't Errol Spence. She brought Errol Spence in as a point of concern or a point of connection to other people. But she was the person that was doing the interview, not him. So she wanted that attention. She just wanted to include him in and use him to catapult herself. That's all she really wanted to do. Okay? Just like Jamal Charlo's wife. Making that stupid ass video about him not having money and him not fighting. And you don't do that to nobody. You can't respect somebody when you do that to them. I wouldn't want a woman like that. Decker, it's got to make sense. They just don't want to fight. Absolutely. Hasim Rahman put Lennox Lewis to sleep. He sure did. Kurt, do you think Canelo is going to fight Benavidez if he beats Caleb? No. Renee Padilla Jr., what if there's a Plant rematch? He'll fight Plant again. But then again, he might not. I mean, you got to fight somebody. There has to be somebody you got to fight. You know, I mean, he'll be out of, he'll be out of fighters. I mean, who else is there? You know, Jamal. You know, I mean, what the fuck is Jamal doing? Besides letting his wife talk shit about him on Instagram, right? Is there any interesting fights coming up? Looks empty. Nah, not really. I mean, you know, to be honest with you, like, you got that Floyd shit this weekend, and you know, what can you really say about that? Another exhibition, another money grab from Floyd, but then nobody has money. It angers me, though, to see Floyd get a guarantee from fucking fights while everybody else has to work on a promise from pay-per-view instead of a guarantee. Canelo versus Boo Boo. Yeah, but he's already shot Boo Boo down. And then Andrade's he's pretty much begging for fights. Damn. I feel bad for Boo Boo, but do I really? You know, I mean, it's like Demetrius Andrade, man, it's crazy. Chocolatito versus Estrada, that's going to be pretty good. Errol Spence doesn't need to go to Dubai for nobody. I like the way Plant came in the Darrell fight, really aggressive, and he looks hungry and determined to make his way back to the top. Yeah, he knocked his ass out, though. Nobody saw that coming, pal. Nobody saw that coming. Counterpunch. Do you place Canelo on the top 5 pound for pound? If he is, he ain't above Bivol. There, I said it. He beat Canelo, so he's replaced Canelo where he's at. He beat another undefeated fighter. Bivol's bad. Bivol's badass. You don't have to be a knockout artist to be exciting. You don't have to kill a person to be entertaining. You know? Plant versus Benavidez announced. That's going to be a good one. I look forward to that. I look forward to that. It's sad to say that we may see Boots Ennis versus Errol Spence before we see Spence versus Crawford in the IBF. Renee Padilla. Well, let's look at it this rate, Renee. At least we'll see something. We'll see what Spence can do with a bigger guy like himself. You know, I think that's the biggest guy Spence has ever been in the ring with, honestly. So, we'll see what happens. You know, I won't bellyache over it because, you know, Ennis, you know, let's say, what if Ennis beats Errol Spence and knocks him off? You know, Errol Spence, you know, I mean, he'll be out of commission. Then the question would Terrence Crawford fight him? Now, if he don't fight him, you know, without moving up, he has to move up or stay in that, or, you know, or fight Boots Ennis, because Boots Ennis wants to be unified. He doesn't want any other shit. I think Spence will fight Canelo and cash out. I know that's what Spence wants. Spence wanted, listen, Spence wanted these fights. Spence wanted, of course this was already discussed with Al Heyman. He wanted either Gennady Golovkin or Canelo Alvarez, whichever one won, because you remember Gennady Golovkin was hot property once upon a time until he lost to Canelo, and then Canelo just kind of went on from there. But listen, no, I think all in all, Spence knows that that's the biggest fight that he could be in. He wants to fight Canelo and get the fuck out of Dodge. Then he can drink all the beer and the lean and whatever the fuck he's on, all he wants. He can do that as long as he wants to. Keep your eyes on the road. King, we need you to assess further fights. Absolutely, I will. Judges gave him first 4 rounds and he lost 12. I'm trying to figure out where I want to go because I'm hungry, but I don't really know what I want to eat. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to Whole Foods. I'm getting some salmon from Whole Foods. Booyah! That's what I'm doing. It's time for fighters to leave PBC. They are wasting precious time, but they ain't because they're brainwashed. See, again, I think Al Haymon does things by, persuasion, not by force. But don't get it twisted. He calls the shots, but I don't think he has to try, or I don't think he has to convince these guys too much to do what he wants them to do or what he really needs them to do. I think he's good enough businessman and communicator. You can't be a good advisor without being a good communicator, people. And I think what he's doing is he's telling these guys what those guys want to hear, and they believe him, and they put their trust in him. And if he has that, it's like, hey, would you rather be loved or would you rather be feared? And the question of that is, you'd rather be loved, because when you're feared, people will eventually leave you. You know what I mean? Because everybody eventually left too. Don King, right? Because Don King wasn't loved, he was fucking feared. You eat salmon or raw or cooked. It's gonna be already cooked. It's in their deli in the back. Shit's like $23 a pound, so I get a couple pounds of it and get some crackers or something. I'll probably get some vegetables and eat with it, something like that. Joey Chaz, that makes sense. Canelo will be the cash cow for 2 more years. Yeah, Canelo's gonna get the fuck out of boxing. He's been boxing too long. He's almost been in there 20 years. Remember, he started when he was 15. He's 32 now. That's 17 years. So he's been in the game 17 years. Next year will be 18. 2024, by the end of 2024, Canelo will retire from the sport of boxing. And he won't come back. He's not coming back to the sport of boxing after that. He's going to leave and stay gone. He has gas stations. He has, Canelo's set, bro. He ain't worried about none of this shit. And he said it himself. Once I leave boxing, I'm going to leave all that shit with me. So from 15 to 34, right? 35? Because he'll be 33 next year. Age 34, I think he'll be done. So before 35, he will be like an oiler or something. They don't want to look foolish, so they wait on that empty promise Al Haymon made. Alfred Young, yeah, he made him a promise. Don't mean he's gonna fulfill it. He comes from the shadow, showing his whole body, but his face. You just see the cigar light up. When the smoke come out, you don't see the face at all. Like, damn, what's up with this guy? Hey Al, how you doing? Shh. You all know that Spence versus Thurman was going to get made. That's why Spence's PR people are pushing the duck garbage. He knew that shit was gonna get made, just like he was like, I don't know why all of a sudden David Avenesian. Motherfucker, you had that shit on, he didn't tell you what Al Haymon told him. Al Haymon already told him, you're gonna fight Keith Thurman. You always wanted Keith Thurman, so you're gonna get Keith Thurman. So you got Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Kell Brook, Manny Pacquiao, which he didn't get. Your Dennis was blessed with that, thank God. Because I'm glad he didn't get the opportunity to beat the shit out of a living legend, you know what I mean? Because that's all would have happened. Because we seen how Manny looked in his fight with Ugas. Now imagine what Errol would have done. Shit, Errol would have beat the shit out of Manny Pacquiao. Man, I'm gonna beat your ass. I am Manny. I'm hurted. Counterpunch, what's your favorite cigar? I don't smoke, man. Fuck, a Cuban? Shit. Now I'd smoke a Cuban just because it's a Cuban. A Cuban with a Cuban. Yeah, I picked up some from Jamaica, man, one time. I was on a cruise, and they were all right. You know, I just sit there, listen. You know, I was out on the deck, you know, on the boat. It was like 3 in the morning. I was like Bill Clinton. I smoked, but I didn't inhale. You know what I mean? I just let that shit kind of blow out my nose and marinade, get all in my fucking clothes and shit. You know, it was cool. It was relaxing, right? I was disappointed that Floyd didn't humiliate Paul. He could have just gone for the KO on that. He clowned easy. He just went easy on him. Total disappointment. Because he knows, Jan, he don't want to do that, because if the minute he does that, the money's going to dry up. And he's going to make some of it. He can make a fucking sequel with Logan Paul. And since he didn't knock Logan Paul out, they could justify, man, Logan Paul survived with Floyd fucking Mayweather, so let's fight again. You know. Floyd will do it because he's a whore for the money. Floyd's a whore for money. That's what he's doing all this stupid shit for. Now you're on the Zone? Dude, what? Oh, it's the Zone pay-per-view? I'm like, damn. How does your daddy Al feel about that? Floyd Heyman? Fuck. That's his new name, Floyd Heyman. Shit, he'll do anything for a buck. Well, shit. Yeah, he literally carried Logan a couple times. Yeah, he did. Oh, get up, get up. Don't let him see you do this. Push him off. Fucking Logan's fucking beat up. Poor big bastard. He got beat up. Fucking look at Floyd little ass hitting him with left hooks. Floyd had to really get physical with him for a while, because I think Floyd got kind of mad when Logan went at him with about 20 punches. I'm like, what the fuck is this dude doing? Kurt, do you think he's the cash cow after Canelo, and why? Kurt, who do you think? Nobody's the cash cow. No one has the model of being the cash anything. That's why boxing will fucking fade. Unfortunately. Only thing we can do, see, Al Heyman's doing all this fucking split shit. There's no guarantees no more. You know, Leonard Ellaby's got to the point, Steven Espinosa, they don't even want to share what they've made. See, that's already a red flag. Yeah, these motherfuckers are tripping. What are they doing? Oh, it's somebody. Yeah, somebody's. Okay. Damn. Somebody's car in the turning lane is stalled on them. Spence drops WBC belt. Oh no. Oh, Spence. Errol Spence Jr. I'm from New York City. Get a rope. This man says he's from New York City. New York City? Yeah, I'm from New York City. That's what I said. Ryan Garcia. Yeah, it could be a little Oscar, but I don't know. Maybe. You know, but see, one thing about Floyd, I mean, Ryan though, Ryan is, you know, he has to be a lot big. He's gonna get bigger. He's gonna be at 147, I think, when he starts kicking old asses up there. It's gonna be some old motherfuckers still hanging around to get beat up. They want some more paydays because Al Heyman fucked them on some bullshit pay-per-view. You know what I mean? He ended up fighting someone like Mario Barrios and beating him up and think he's arrived. You know. Or the old ass Keith Thurman in 3 years. I'm still Keith one-time Thurman. Yeah, you still gonna get beat up by fucking young ass Ryan Garcia. You imagine that? Ryan, in 3 years, Ryan Garcia will probably end up beating up Keith Thurman. Ennis can easily fight at 160. Yeah, all them big ass dudes, man. So can Errol. That's why you think Errol talking about fighting Canelo, if that wasn't a possibility, or if that wasn't like a easy fight. Of course it was an easy fight, dude. He knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. Let's just be real about the shit. Keith won more, lost time Thurman. Spence was being chased by gangsters when he had his car wrecked. That would be some shit. You
You just can't talk about it. I ain't snitching. I ain't snitching anything. I ain't snitching on nobody. Shit, I ain't snitching on nobody. Yeah, you better not. I don't think it'll be good for your health. You are your girl. Drunk asked Errol Spence. I told him to stop, high and drunk. That's what Keith Thurman keep telling, man, you better stop the shit you doing. Old drunk ass dude. They great fight heroes so they can get Mexicans for pay-per-view. Everybody know that shit. You know, Mikey Garcia. You think if Mikey Garcia didn't sell, he wouldn't be fighting him? No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't do that at all. I think Boots can get the right fights and win. He can become a draw. You think Spence goes whatever that shit is when he's drunk? I don't know. You know, he may be. You think him being gay this time of age really fucking matters? This time of age? Now that would be a discussion and hurts his credibility if he was what? If this was fucking 1990 or 80, he'd probably get beat up for some shit like that. Nowadays he gets praised and put on a pedestal and shit. You know, gets all the gold royal treatment. You better, man, you know. Errol Spence might be the new Oscar De La Hoya, fishnets Hoya. I like fishnets too. Shit, De La Hoya looking sexy hell. I ain't told nobody until now I'm out. Yeah, he's sexy motherfucker anyway, old Puma wearing ass Oscar De La Hoya. He just don't like black fighters, but you know, don't mean I don't like him. Let me stop, man. You know, but Errol do got that little twang in his voice, don't he? He kind of got like a, I don't know, man, because, he tried to kiss a dude one. I remember a friend of mine, John. Shout out to John, my brother. Shout out to John 5. John Cinco. And he was like, man, you see that shit with Errol Spence? He tried to kiss his homeboy when he was drunk. I said, man, I don't really pay it. I don't really make videos about that. I don't make videos about that. But, he really he was trying to, man, what the fuck wrong with you, dude? He was trying to kiss him, man. You come in, man, I want to kiss you. I want to show you my lips on your mouth. Man, you say, but he was drunk, right? So people, show their true colors when they're inebriated, man. Look, there's only three people in the fucking world that are true, that are true. Babies, they'll tell you the truth. Drunkards, or someone really, really angry. So I mean, when he had those marshmallows, was it marshmallows? I don't think it was marshmallows, man. I think it was strawberries. And this girl, oh, thank you, baby. Oh, I love it. And he was all hanging on. I was like, oh, what's up, Errol? Dog. Errol showing his feminine side. What's fuck right there, it's crazy because, my brother, he like, man, what the fuck wrong with that man? Motherfucker, why you talking like that, dog? I don't like that shit. I don't like him doing that, man. Nigga whoop ass like that. How you gonna be an ass whooping punk? Oh, man, it's crazy. Well, it's Errol. I mean, but here's the thing, though. He has to make the introduction. He can't just do shit like that because people are just gonna really know, and they're not gonna give him credit if he doesn't come out. That's true. If he doesn't get credit, he's not showing his allegiance to that community. He's just closet. One thing gay people hate is closet people because they're hypocrites. Walking around saying I like women and shit, and you really don't. You know what I mean? Instead of just saying, hey, I'm gay, I love it. Hear me shine, hear me roar. You know what I mean? People ain't gonna like that shit. Next a video of him double cheeked up. Yeah. But that's something that I think he needs to really nip in the bud. But then again, here's the thing. Seriously though, Oscar De La Hoya, he never said He never said he was gay. I just think I think understand when you're dealing with like spirits and things that affect the way your mind and body works. You know, it's gonna have you warped. Sometimes it could just unmask how you really feel, or sometimes it could just turn you into a totally different person. You know, like certain people, like okay, I used to date this chick, and she can't drink tequila. She'll end up naked. You know, oh, I can't drink tequila. I'll be naked. I'm like, oh, here. You want something to drink? You want some? You want some Casamigos? I got some Casamigos. Kurt, I just told you that makes me horny. Yeah, that's the point, motherfucker. You know, that's the whole point. There. No suppressing prophecy for Congo. 199. Appreciate the super chat, bro. Keep them coming. Spirit drinks are not good for me. I don't think they're good for anybody, to be honest with you, man. I black out on tequila. The only drink that I lose memory. St. Don. That's crazy. Yeah, so, but you know, like Oscar De La Hoya doing that shit, you know, you ask, the question you ask yourself is, was Oscar De La Hoya, though, was he cognitive of what was going on at the time? Because if he wasn't, and he was on that much of shit, and he didn't know what he was doing, or when he was doing it, because he could either, like St. Don, hey, I blacked out, so I don't even remember what was going on. I could have been doing whatever the hell, which is scary as fuck. But he didn't remember. Okay, he didn't remember. But, or it's like, all right, I do remember, but then I liked it when I was doing it while I was drunk. You know, it's crazy. Not all people with feminine traits are gay, just like not all gays have feminine traits. There are plenty of gay men who are quite masculine. Yeah. I believe that. Fucking look at Damien from Friday After Next. You remember Damien? Fucking the only fucking guy on the Me Too movement. Come on, what's his name? Terry Crews. Remember Terry Crews in next Friday? No, Friday After Next. And then, you know, and he was trying to get Cat Williams, Money Mag the pimp. Pimp down, come on, pimp. Yeah. And he was this immaculate ass, hey, faggots, perm and shit. Yeah, bring him over here. I like my fish squirming. I am a boy. I'll bitch slap you. And he screamed, ah! And he splashed that water on him. You pee on me. Wake your ass up, Lucky Charms. I like my fish squirming. I was like, oh my God. Oh man, it's hilarious, bro. Yeah. Man, look, but you're absolutely right, man. Counterpunch to you. They blackmail Oscar, but in the West Coast, he's a legend. Well, I don't think he is. Errol, the cock hunter. Oh Jesus. See that, like, dude, I'm a jokester, so don't joke around. Like, I'll do skits and that shit. I'll do skits of Errol Spence. Come here, I want to take you home with me. Man, get away from me, man. You don't come home with me, I'll beat your ass and take it. What? You heard me, man. You need to get in this car right now. I'm gonna beat your ass and take it. I take what I want, and I want you. Yeah, Terry Crews is terrifying. Yeah. You imagine that? I want you to come home with me. You know, he's all, I want you to come home with me. Like, what the fuck did you say? Oh my God. That's trying to give me some Chick-fil-A. I can't talk like that now. You know, this is a Christian-based place, so please show respect. Funny, I'm the only one's talking. Somebody make me say something out of bounds. Is that Spence's? Is that Spence or his girlfriend? Oh no, on some booty bandit stuff. I like you.
And I want they call me the booty hunter. So you better get down and dirty because I'm going to hunt you down. Yeah, DeSoto in the house. Let me take you down south. Balls. Not bars. Bars. I mean, he could play into it, try to draw in. Yeah, ask Kip. That probably would happen, wouldn't it? That would make sense. Yeah, man. I'll take the number one.
Is it dining or carry out?
I'll be carrying it out.
Okay.
Let me get a Powerade drink,
What else?
and let me get a chocolate cookie.
Chocolate cookie. What else for you?
That's it.
You want any ketchup, mayonnaise, or dipping sauce?
Yes, sir. Mayonnaise and the dipping sauce.
What kind?
Chick-fil-A sauce.
What's your name?
Kurt.
Mr. Kurt. Your total's going to be $10.45. Is it card or cash?
Card. Thank you, sir.
They're going to call your name as soon as it's ready.
All right, thank you.
Two.
The other channel, bro. Chat. Appreciate you, man. If any fit women about Kurt, put on cam. Funny thing is, Spence would beat the shit out of Terry Crews. It would be true, wouldn't it? Man, I had to whoop Terry Crews the other day, man. He tried to force himself on me. I told him, I told him I ain't want it. I told him just another time. He said, I'm going to give it to him. I said, who you talking to, bitch? Nah, I have a feeling Errol likes white boys. Ooh, wait a minute. Good shout out, St. Don. Take it. You guys are stupid. But I don't know, man. I think isn't Errol married with with 3 children? I know he has children. I don't know if he's married though. I think he had like a couple kids with one chick, and then I think he's with another girl now. You know, I think that's what's going on with him. I imagine Debo from Friday was a big character. Oh man, that would be crazy. But actually, I think Damien though is a like that version of Debo. You know. So I think that they would, I think that's the whole idea. Someone big, tough, menacing, but then at the same time, you know, yay. Kurt, why do people talk about him, about Tim Smith saying the LGBTC don't buy pay-per-views, they steal it? I don't know. I mean, maybe because it's the truth. Maybe a lot of people steal pay-per-view. You know, I mean, they have to. Yeah. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. You too, man. Thank you. Excuse me, John. Yeah, they adopt, bro. You know, they definitely adopt. So,
Kurt, how does Joyce keep winning? His punches are slow as molasses. You can see them coming 2 miles away. Well, that's easy, man. He times his shots. See, if you're slow and you know you're slow, you can use that as an advantage. Let me get away from this music because I don't want to share shit with anyone. You know, I did tell you the story about me and Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, the first fight, or was it the second fight? Yeah, it's the rematch. And I think it was like a Dolly Parton song or something like that, where that label, that music label, emailed me and told me that I owe them. True story.
Because it wasn't a strike. It wasn't nothing like that. It was a, it was the weirdest thing. Like, it wasn't the dollar sign. It was a dollar sign, but it had like a kind of a yin yang on it. And then one part was green and another part was kind of light green. And I was like, what the fuck is that? So I clicked on it and it said, well, hey, there is another party that is claiming that you used their content within your live stream. Therefore, you have to pay them half of whatever that is, or a portion of whatever precedes that you make off of that particular live stream. I'm like, motherfucker, really? Yeah, that happened because it was Tyson Fury's ring walk. And it was heard from my live stream. Therefore, I owe that fucking label the money from that live stream. So I don't know how much I made. I don't know, but I had to give them half of that. I had to give them half of that. So yeah, it was crazy. It was absolutely mad. Yeah, come on, Miss Bed Bath and Beyond. But all right, come on, soccer mom. All these SUVs and shit. I'm in this residential area where a lot of people shop and shit. You see a lot of soccer moms running around, ready to run over you. Crazy for saying I love you. Yeah, it's crazy. I think that video did over 100,000 views as well. Yeah, it was fucked up. And I had to give half of that shit to, because it was that, I forget the name of that song, but it was like an old country song that Fury came out with. I forget, it's like crazy, I'm crazy for you love, some shit like that. Old ass shit. And I was like, damn. And they did that. So that's why I left Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I'm gonna scarf this shit down. Ace, X-Ace 99X, big up Kurt. What's up, brother? Counter punch to you. Let's see. But yeah, Smooth Will, back to you with explaining though what's going on with Joe Joyce, and how he wins. Joe Joyce is good at timing. See, you beat, one second. Speed with timing, right? And we know Joe Joyce is slow as shit. So we know that. We know Joe Joyce is slow. But what Joe Joyce is able to do, he knows he's slow. And he can use that as an advantage, because if you know a guy can beat you throwing a punch, so he can beat you on the jab, he can beat you with the right hand, the left hook, or whatever. A lot of times people try to exploit the fact that they are faster than you. So if you do throw 1, 2, they're going to throw 4. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2, right? Now, let's say you don't throw a 1, 2, and they do throw a 1, 2, 3, 4. So they 1, 2, 3, and then by the time they're throwing 4, you hit them with your 1. So on their 4th punch, you're landing your 1 punch, but your 1 punch, depending on the punch placement, is a lot devastating than his 4. You know, so he might be, you know, so by the time he throws that 4th punch, 2, 3, 4, Joyce is already, boom, he's already hitting you with that 1, because he doesn't have to worry about speed if he worries about timing and punch placement. That's how he was beating Joyce. And it's also a mental thing. You show a person that you can hit them and they hit you and they don't get the same result versus him hitting them, yeah, that's gonna fuck with him. He said, this dude knocked the shit out of me and he hurt me with this shot and I hit him with one of my best punches and he didn't fucking budge. But he's constantly, you know, fucking Joyce. That's how I did it. AJ would be twice as scary if he were gay. He's intimidating enough as it is. I wouldn't say that either, because as we just heard, shout out to I forget who said it, you know who you are, that it don't matter. That's not, you can be, man, you know, you guys never heard the saying that like gay people can fight? You think that shit's, you know, you think, look, men are men, women are women. Now, you're right, you do have feminine men, but for the most part, men are masculine, right? So when you're dealing with somebody, that motherfucker might be wearing a dress. When you think that's funny and you say something and pop off shit to that person, that man that's wearing a dress, and he turns around and then he's knowing you're fucking with him and he calls off and beats you the fuck up, what could you say? It's embarrassing, man. I got beat up by a woman, by a man in a dress. Exactly. You got beat up by a man that you were making fun of because he was wearing a dress. See, you didn't understand, like, you know, some people are, yo, look at that. You know, so that's what you need to realize, you know. Kurt, you're such a polite and respectful guy. Respect. Daniel, appreciate you, brother. Wow, we couldn't get service like that in the UK. Dude, that's why I decided to go to, I got my shit within, what, a minute or two? If that. They were bringing my shit out. Earl the booty snatcher. I snatch your booty up. I'm the booty snatcher. Man down. Man, I put the dick down. That's what that's what man down really mean, bitch. Get with it. Get with it, I'm gonna beat you up. Then I'm gonna take it. I want to see Joyce versus Wilder. You know what I want to see? I want to see Joyce versus White. Yeah. Joseph Bailey, what's up, brother? Counter puncher, you. X Ace 99 times says, I don't want to see more waste of time rematches. I don't either. That's why I don't want to see that AJ versus Dillian White shit. Everybody know AJ can beat Dillian White. Dillian White is not going to outbox AJ, bro. He's not going to outbox AJ. I did a video yesterday. Or was it today? I don't know. I know I did it yesterday. I think I posted it today. But it was like Joshua and White. And somebody fucking, somebody put in the comments, man, you guys are vicious. He said, yeah, AJ versus Dillian White. Battle of the bums. That shit was funny. Errol and Oscar can be boxing's biggest couple. Nah, Oscar's too old. Errol needs to detox and try to beat Bud. Ain't gonna happen. Well, Kale might be gay too, with chocolate brownies meaning chocolate booty to Spence. What's this chocolate brownie? Chocolate brownies. I want to see you at Wembley. No, but Errol Spence already told him. He said, I ain't your mate. Kurt, you got the original spicy with cheese, the waffle fries? I got the #1. It doesn't have cheese on it. You know. Man, but they're chocolate. I didn't eat that damn cookie, but I'm going to eat one anyway. Bud is always ready. Errol Spence is warm. Only Kel can answer that, Kurt. I have no idea. I remember he told him that. He told Errol Spence, I ain't your mate. I ain't your mate. Inui? I don't know. I haven't heard from him in a while. I haven't heard anything from that Japanese emperor. That's a good question. For December 10th? What venue are you talking about? Are you talking about Tyson Fury? Because if it's Tyson Fury, it's December 3rd. I don't remember what Kell Brook said. Fury sniffs Monday. Monday is the deadline. The deadline is you, motherfucker. Monday! Monday is the deadline. Yeah, my voice carried across this damn thing. Be like, oh. I wonder who Ergovic will fight next. Probably Usyk in February or March. Nah. Ergovic won't beat Usyk either. But I do like his punch output. He'll give him a go until he gets tired. I mean, not a lot of people's going to beat Usyk, bro. There is a Latino boxer that made headlines a few years back when he came out as the first openly gay boxer. Do you recall this? Yeah, I remember that fucking guy, man. And that motherfucker got a mouth like a boot. He was from Puerto Rico too. And what he did was he made a lot of people mad because this motherfucker tried to change the Puerto Rican flag to the stripes, the red stripes. He tried to change them to the rainbow stripes, like a gay flag. Which, it's fucked up. I'm going to tell you why. It's no different to me. You don't disrespect the nationality because of your own sexual beliefs. That's fucking stupid. I think it's dumb anyway. It's just more shit to talk about for a distraction for something else that's going on that we should be talking about. See, if you're Puerto Rican, you're just Puerto Rican. You know, if you're gay, you're just gay. But like when you try to make, oh well, it just wasn't right. He shouldn't have done that. You know, you don't make it about your sexual preference. See, when sexual preference becomes political, that's the problem. And that's always been the problem. And people have tried to bring that up, and I'm like, why is that an issue? Yeah, Orlando Cruz, but I'm going to tell you what happened. He got knocked the fuck out by Orlando Salido, that Mexican fighter that beat Lomachenko. He decision Lomachenko. He knocked him the fuck out. Oh, by the way, he still changed it. He still had like the Puerto Rican flag with the star, with the blue. Then he had the little rainbows and shit. When people were pissed off, I'm like, why would you do that, man? I mean, that's disrespecting your flag. Your flag's supposed to be the colors of your flag and the colors of your flag only. Not any added bullshit to what you feel based on your beliefs as something that you're doing under the sheets. It doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I never understood that. That reminds me of a time when I was living in Brazil, in Sao Paulo. They had a parade. They had a gay parade, which a lot of parades they have. No big deal. But these motherfuckers had like a gay Jesus, and they were parading him around and shit with like gay shit on. Like, I'm like, dude, that's disrespectful, man. That's like a deity. Like, so why would you even, like, you know, it's like that. Sometimes you can take things too far. And that's exactly what they did. And that's exactly what he did. You know, and it just makes you wonder, like, what the hell? Oh, he's walking all fucked up. What is it? What is it? A gay day today? All right. Just saying. Spence being drunk. Al Heyman said I can date Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman. Yeah. He didn't say my name, did he? No, he didn't. You on the wrong side of the street. You guys are terrible. They were joking about that shit. He say Jesus did hang around with a lot of blokes, a bit like AJ. You guys are wrong. You guys are wrong, man. Wrong, I tell you. Hold on a second. He said a bit like AJ. I remember, what was it? I was at Blue Blood. Blue Blood was, I ain't saying AJ gay. I'm just saying you never see him with chicks. All you do is see him with a bunch of dudes all the time. I'm not saying nothing, but I'm just saying you never see him with chicks. Evening all. Mark, counterpunch to you. But yeah, so back to Errol Spence though, man. Errol Spence, you know, you can drink to your steak, you know what I mean? Hell, Tyson Fury did it. Nobody said shit. Tyson Fury was kicking taxis and shit. You fucking dog sign. Do you remember Sugar Ray Seal? Imagine Fury and Spence hanging together. Who's MJP? Who's Sugar Ray Seal? Well, been there many times since 2002. Cargo ships. Yeah, Brazil's a different kind of place, though. It's another fucking world from up here. Used to have that name, and we'll watch it all the time. Say, "What up, champ?" Counterpunch to you. Oh, Michelle Joy Phelps. Yeah, I've met you, Michelle. I know Michelle. Michelle's on her shit, man. She doesn't look the same in person. And that's not a bad thing. Michelle looks like a Native American because like she's part Native American. So she has real brown skin and shit. Yeah, who's Sugar Ray Seals? Network. Do you think Spence is on more than liquor? He could be. He could be, man. He could be on all types of shit. I don't know. Spence could change genders and go for the women title. Now, see, that shit wouldn't be right. And I look, I don't approve on any of that shit. You know, you feel a certain way, dude. If you're a big ass 6'6" guy and you feel like a woman, then you go dress up as a woman and all, cool. Wolf in sheep's clothing, if you ask me. But you go and compete in a woman's thing. How the fuck is that fair? Just because he's fucking retarded in the head, then he wants to compete with women. You know, especially boxers. There was actually a transgender woman that fucking knocked this woman's ass out. This real woman. Like gave her ass a concussion. Knocked her ass out cold. I can't remember what it was. I'm like, dude, you can't compare those. It's fucked up, man. You having these dudes beating up on these women. Now, the only way it would make sense is, okay, the women, okay, I'm a woman, so I'm identified as a man. Well, you do know you have a disadvantage if you're trying to compete with men. You know, so it's fucked up, man. You know, like, and if they're able to do that shit, that means they're mad skilled, not because they're powerful. But when you got a fucking dude in there that decides I'm gonna change my identity and shit, gender-wise, and then want to fight women, how the fuck can you? That ain't even fair. You know, then wonder why he's winning all the fucking time. Yeah, I remember Joanna Man. Yeah, that shit was fucked up. Beating the shit out of women. I'm a woman inside. No, you're not, dude. You fucking lying to people. You beating not gonna be fucked up, you know? You beating up fucking women and shit. I just don't see that, dude. You're beating up a real. She's just a cis woman. No, you're just really beating her ass, man. You're just beating her up, bro. And it's wrong, you know? Because if that's the case, why don't they just do that with other transgender people? Not put them in the category like everyone else, because they're not like everyone else. There's a reason why it's a transition, right? So they should be with other trans guys or trans girls. I think that would be the best thing to do. Because once they try to put, like, imagine that shit. Like, okay, let's say Errol Spence did that. That would be fucked up. Errol Spence beat the shit out of Clarissa Shields. I'm a woman inside, so I decided to be who I really am inside. So that shouldn't matter because people should respect my views. Motherfucker, we seen you beat the shit out of people. We seen you catch Sean Porter's tough, strong Superman chinned ass with a right hook and drop him. We've seen that. And you talking about this shit about I feel like a woman inside, so I'm gonna do what I always felt I wanted to do. But that don't mean I can't fight my other fellow women. Motherfucker, are you insane? Beating the shit out of him. I want Katie Taylor next. I think I should fight her. Katie Taylor. He was a bit strong. He was. She just overpowered me. Yeah, I bet she fucking did, bud. I bet she fucking did. Jesus. No, you can't say that anymore. I bet you they did, didn't it? Yeah, it felt like they, didn't it? They beating your ass. It felt like more than one. It felt more like plural. When Errol Spence fucking planted his left cross or the fucking right hook to the body on you, and wonder why you fucking got a 2 or 3 cracked ribs, because you just got hit by fucking full-grown, highly testosterone man. Come on, man. Stop that shit. And then that just lets you know how fucked up like the world has gotten, because you would allow a guy or a woman that transitioned from a man to still compete with women. That's fucking gross. That's fucked up. And then he's like fucking flatlining these motherfuckers. I forget who that was, because they were talking about it on Joe Rogan, and they were like, well, why the fuck would they have that? why would they even have that? It's crazy. I'm still suspicious of Savannah Marshall. Well, here's the thing. If Savannah Marshall is a man and Clarissa Shields not saying Clarissa Shields can't beat up some men. I'm not saying that, because I'm pretty sure she could beat up any Joe Blow off the street. She wouldn't whoop my ass. Clarissa Shields, I'll fuck Clarissa Shields up. You ain't whooping me. Clarissa Shields, like 1-1-2, that motherfucker will be dizzy, because I'm gonna fuck her up. That's the difference. That is the difference. But I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about a regular guy that don't train, that knows shit about fighting. He doesn't know anything about anything. But fighting someone that is undercover a guy and you're beating him, that's impressive. So if Savannah Marshall was really a dude, that makes Clarissa Shields win, excuse me, that much better and that much impressive, because dude finds out this motherfucker was a dude this whole time, just dressed up like a woman, cross-dresser. And I swear, bro, when I was coming up, we had people like that. We had 2 types of people that were weird. One was the motherfuckers that ran in public and flashed you and then ran off like they had problems. And 2 was motherfuckers that they caught dressing up in drag. You know, and like we call them drag queens or cross dressers. Well, last year when I told my daughter that, this motherfucker got mad enough to, like, she went off on me. And I was like, what the fuck are you mad? I'm just telling you what they called them, really. Because I mean, we really didn't see a lot of that around here. But that's what they called them. That's what the term was. So, But no, if back to Clarissa though, dude, if Clarissa beat up a dude that was just trying to fake like a woman, good for her, you know? Absolutely. I don't know, it would be a good fight. An MMA fighter was trans and knocked girls out cold. Creepy guy. Who was that? Who was that fighter? Who was that person that did that? You know, because that's who I'm talking about. He was knocking motherfuckers out cold. And I'm like, yo. And then like you call it, I'm like, dude, that's just going too far. You don't do that, man. Like, how dare motherfuckers? And I don't know who's pushing this shit. You know, they can compete too. Compete with who, bitch? You know what I mean? Come on, man. I mean, really, what are you doing? They can compete too. I'm just as much as a woman. Dude, you're more than that. You're not at all. You're beating fucking knocking chicks out. And I don't see how people see that's unfair though. You know, because if you look at it in a competitive sense, it's like, yo, that's not even fair. Then people get real about what they're really fucking dealing with, you know. There's a reason why it's classification, because people are fucking different. You know? Yeah, man, knocking motherfuckers out. That was cold-blooded. You know? Like, damn. Chicks didn't have a chance. He was Hispanic or Brazilian, some shit like that. Just can't remember his name. Fucking them up. I mean, giving the motherfuckers concussions. I mean, knocking their ass out flat. It reminds me of when, remember when Lucille Riker fought this like guy Thai kickboxer, and she got her ass knocked out cold. And I'm like, damn. But at least she knew what she was up against. At least she knew that it was like, okay, I know I'm going in and I don't have the advantage. I believe in my ability. I believe in my powers, my strengths. I believe in that, and I'm going to do something that are against all odds. And she got knocked the fuck out for it. I get that, but fuck that shit, you know. And then see, here's the thing: the people you have to look at too are the motherfuckers that's fighting them. You know, they must have believed in that shit too. That all that bullshit. That's bullshit, bro. You know, like, yeah, I'll fight against him. She's just very much as a woman. Bow! Yeah, that motherfucker. And I bet you they got home. That fucking dude beat my ass. Fucking fake bitch. That fake bitch beat me up. Yeah, I bet I bet they did, didn't they? But no, it's just, no, she's a she. She's a she. So let her be, since she's a she. And she beat you and knocked you senseless. I wonder fucking why. You know. Yeah, so, yeah, that, you know. So they gotta, you know, like, if I'm a female fighter in the UFC or whatever the fuck, there is no fucking way I'm putting myself in, I'm 5'7", 165 pounds, and they put me in there with somebody that's 5'8", that's transgender, a transgender woman. There is no fucking way. And I think that shit's cool. That means I should know, just like Lucille Riker knew what was against. I'm against all odds in this. Okay? Because that is a fucking guy that you're physically fighting. Fuck what he feels inside. He's going to use what he has inside to knock you the fuck out. And that's his testosterone and his levels and all that other shit that a man has. So you have to be ready about that, man. You know? And dude, you chicks are really fighting this motherfucker. Why are you fighting him for? You know? I believe in the cause. Man, listen. I could give a shit on what people feel they are. But once you put someone's life in jeopardy from an unfairness due to that type of separation, dude, yeah, it's fucking crazy. It's nuts. You know? Shields versus LA Ali, both in their prime. Who wins? I don't know. I think Layla would get it because she's bigger. She's just a bigger woman. You know? I just think she's a bigger woman. You know what I mean? But then, yeah, that's you and ULB. He called you counter track. Remember, counter cut boxing. Yeah, thank you for building the coin. My dons, hit that bell icon. Man, he got a strange accent. Hit that bell. Hold on a second. I'm trying to. This fucking bullshit. It's Eubank, sucker. Go. Yeah, because I haven't seen anybody with that type of accent over there. It's kind of, I don't know. And then it's funny, like people are not ever what you think they look like. Because I remember seeing some videos of him like about 3 or 4 years ago, and he didn't show his face or whatever. And it's like, I just thought him just being like kind of just this, I don't know, pasty looking white guy from the mountains or some shit. Now I see him, he's like some kind of, I don't know, I don't even really know anybody to describe him that he looks like. But then he got the little bottle cap, Morpheus ass glasses on, with the hood on his head and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is that about? Like, I don't know. Maybe he's just a younger guy or something. Maybe people just like putting hoods on, you know, like kind of like the he's half Jamaican, half white. Okay. Well, I know he was biracial. That's not the point. It's just, I think like he was just kind of I don't know. Maybe that CG is weird or something. I don't know. Anthony Mandela Gandhi Johnson. Dillian Shite. That's what we call him, Dillian Shite. Shields needs to rematch Marshall, but this time in America shouldn't have had to fight Marshall here in the UK in the first place, given how she was the one with the most belts. Yeah, but she knew where that money was. Shit, if I'd go to the UK, I'd go to the UK all the time if I knew my check was gonna get bigger. If I know Eddie Hearn had $3 million to guarantee me fighting a motherfucker, I know I'm going, because I'm gonna go and come back with M's. You know what I'm saying? Because really, what do you call it? Oscar De La Hoya, and you know he's not where he used to be, you know. So I have it Eddie Hearn, then Bob Arum, then Oscar De La Hoya, then everybody else that under him. Like you know, like Al Heyman is a totally different structure. So, you know. Rematch with Blue Bloods, Sports TV. Shields makes more money in the UK. Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. She knows that shit. She ain't got no problem going over there. That's why she was all respectful, because she knows she got that bag. Clarissa Shields, she got that bag. You know, they don't fuck around over there in the UK like that promised ass split pay-per-view bullshit, man, you know? You know, like, nah, man. Pay-per-view sales. No. It's just people should have realized years ago, pay-per-view shouldn't have been dead in the first place. But what it should have been, it shouldn't have got to the amount of money that they marketed to be. Okay, and they marketed these fights at $100 fucking. That shit should have been at least 50. Those ticket sales for those ticket pay-per-view events should be cut in half. They should never be $100, and that's what people are fucking up. That's where, you know, but these networks are so greedy, you know, that shit they made on Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, and people will never do that again. People are not gonna pay that type of money for any type of fight. LDBC claims to be pro-US but hate Terrence Crawford. Make it make sense. Jade Anthony. Well, I mean, you can't. See, here's the thing. If they are, Terrence Crawford's problem is his rival is Errol Spence. If Errol Spence wasn't his rival, they wouldn't shit on him as hard. That's all. But if you notice how they don't talk about Danny Jacobs, even though Danny Jacobs is done, he's done, bro. Danny Jacobs lost to Gabe Rosado in my mind. You know what I mean? And there. But he's made some money. He's always been a real respected guy at times. You know. It don't matter. Yes, $100 for pay-per-view is insane. It is. Absolutely, it's insane. But I mean, what the fuck can you do about it? Yeah, they're pro-black, but I mean, you got to have somebody that you ride with, you know, and they ride with, you know, Al Heyman. Danny Joshua is done. Danny Joshua. Anthony Johnston. Oh man, he kind of sounds like this Korean chick I used to know. Anthony Johnston. That's how she sounded, but she's more like kind of a surfer. Like, I didn't tell you what to do about anything else. I didn't know what you were talking about. Then you kind of put it with like a nasal. That's YB. Anthony Johnston. Hit that bell icon for my duns. Shit's crazy. You know, he does his thing though. You know what I mean? He's a troll. He trolls. That's what he does. He's weird. He's Weird Al Yank YB. It used to be YB, the fucking LDBC Slayer. I remember that shit, and he changed the whole shit now just to YB. What's up, my duns? Coming to you. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It is crazy. All right. Ow. Shit hurt my fucking ear. Nah, we love the YB. Yeah, YB all right. And, you know, he trolls. That's what he does. He does his thing. He does his fucking thing over here. Yeah, that was fucked up. See, and then that's another fight that won't happen simply because they waited too long. And guess what? Even though the promoter of Danny Jacobs was Eddie Hearn, but his advisor was Al Heyman. So he had a kind of a different deal going on. But, you know, I think Al Heyman, you know, really didn't give a shit about to promote him because he knew that he was under Eddie Hearn's wing. You know. But, I mean, it is what it is. Right? But YB blocked me. Damn. Why did YB block you? What's up, my dogs? That's crazy. Crazy stuff. But yeah, man. Errol Spence, I hope it was a skit, and I hope he's not drunk like he said he is. You know what I mean? And if he is, I hope he gets some help, definitely. But it was cool talking to you guys this afternoon or tonight, wherever you guys are at. You know what I'm saying? And we will link up at another time. Everybody be blessed, be safe, and everyone has been counterpunched. Peace.